Toby Sue, hopefully bringing some joy to you today and some fun information. And to those of you whose children have their first day at school, happy first day of school. Welcome back. I hope it is a fun, awesome, and productive year for everyone. Guys, I am here with my brand new friend and fellow Bridgerton fan, Alicia. Alicia, introduce yourself.
Hello, good morning. My name is Alicia Hann, and I use pronouns she, her, ella. I am bicultural, and I am the Family and Community Engagement Specialist for Birth to 5, Illinois, Region 31, King County.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here today, and we are going to learn all about Birth to 5.
Yes.
Way cool. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Curtis. Good morning, Tracy Duran and Daniel Calderon, and I think Kevin and several others. Good morning to all of you. Thanks for tuning in. So please, for those of us that don't know, tell us about Birth to 5.
Perfect. Yes. So Birth to 5 Illinois is relatively new. It's only been around for a few years. We are a nonprofit organization that is in the entire state of Illinois. And we talk to families that have young children, so birth to age 5.
Very good.
And we are a little different in the senses that we don't provide a service. Mm-hmm. What we do is we talk to families about services. So we want to know, how can we make things better for families to access services, to be aware of services, to afford services. So we really are kind of like the telephone line from families to those organizations that want to know.
Friendly voices and friendly faces, which I love, because sometimes it is difficult to get those resources and it is intimidating.
Absolutely.
And I love that you guys are eliminating that and making it a good process.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Good morning, Becky. So how do people find you guys? Where do we find Birth to 5 Illinois?
So no matter what county you live in, I come from the King County area that houses the 9 school districts.
Oh, there's 9. I live in King County as well. 9 districts. Cool.
Yeah. So wherever you are, if you're within our region or in the other 39 regions in the state of Illinois, there is a team that is working on this, is doing this work. So anyone can go to our website, www.birth5il.com, and find out who that contact person is. We're also on Facebook. We have Facebook groups, and mainly people, especially the people that are in my role, we're out in community in the events. So you can find me in Aurora, in Elgin, at some event somewhere, doing something in the community.
Right. Oh, and I noticed that the Facebook groups are divided by county, which also makes it so easy for people.
Yes.
I love that. I forgot to ask you, are you from Aurora? Where are you from?
Yes. So I was born and raised here in Aurora.
Oh, cool.
So this is my home.
You are an authentic Auroran.
I am. And our office is here in downtown Aurora, so right down the street.
Very handy.
Yeah. So yes, I'm from here. I love this community. My family and friends are here. So.
How did you get involved with Birth to 5 Illinois?
Well, I feel like it kind of, when I learned about Birth to 5 Illinois and what they were trying to do, it kind of hit a string with me for something that I kind of wished in all the different professions that I've had in the past. So I've always worked with families. I've always worked with families with young children in some way. Even though the hat might be different that I wore, I always like connecting people to resources, connecting organizations to find the people that they can best support. And I always felt like the people that weren't up here or weren't down here, like that, the people that are actually talking to families had the secret treasure answer to how to fix things.
Trust me, I know. I've personally been there when my children were very, very young, and it was difficult, and it did feel like things were exclusive and just,
where to go, I don't know what to do, who do I go, it's complicated, and it's very unique depending on your circumstance, your situation, your family, your
very
community.
individual.
Yeah. So when I heard that they're trying to elevate the voices of those people that can say, like, here in Aurora, we need that, or Elgin now has this new situation, and, you know, we need to do something about this, then I was like, I want to work for something like that where I can make a difference in how people can access information. So I grew up, like I said, I'm bicultural, so I grew up in a Spanish-speaking household, and our situation growing up in a family brought on a lot of barriers to access things that later in life I like, oh, I didn't know this was even a thing. And so I'm hoping to be a part of, like, a way to alleviate that by connecting families, and by not just the families, but letting the organizations know, like, hey, this is something that we need to focus our attention on. Yeah.
And speaking of multicultural and multilingual, the website has different languages. Which languages are on the websites?
Yes, so we have an amazing communications department. Shout out to them.
Good job, guys. Thank you.
Our website has options for language in documents and some of the pages in English, Spanish, Polish, French, and Arabic.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I personally speak English and Spanish, but if someone would like that is main languages, primary language is one of the other languages that I don't speak, they can still access some of that
easily
information.
Access and understand it.
Yeah, so it's fabulous. Our county, specifically King County, has a large population of folks that speak Spanish. So all our documents, whether it's on our Facebook groups or on our website, the reports that we put together are available in both English and Spanish. So
I love
super
that.
proud of that.
Amazing. Are there any special events coming up?
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
So right now, we recently released this summer 2 of the reports that we've been working on this last fiscal year. One of them is our action plan, which is like a plan for our community specifically, because our community is very different from Chicago, from Will County, from DeKalb.
Right.
So it's like a list of things that the people have told us, this is what we would like to see, and these are some steps we can take to improve the system so that it's more equitable for families, affordable, awareness, all those types of things. So that's in a document, like a report, English and Spanish. And then we also did a report on mental and behavioral health. Awareness.
So important.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, and these are all, again, early childhood education and care related. And what was fabulous about that was that we not only got to talk to families with young children, but organizations that aren't typically in those fields. Like we have counsel, and we have like someone that represents a library on there. That's not technically a mental behavioral health field, but they have families that come to them asking for resources.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
They see things. So we are looking for, we're so lucky in our region to have a variety of voices like that.
And it's really it's really great to have more eyes and ears and get the different perspectives.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So our event, the question about the event. So now that we have these reports, they're out in the community, accessible to anyone on our websites. They were submitted to even like the DHS, the Department of Human Services, ISB, Illinois State Board of Education, so that they're aware of all the needs in our community. And we are wanting to let just open general people in the public to learn a little bit about these reports and then give us feedback.
Okay.
So just because we completed the report doesn't mean that we're done.
It's not closed.
Yeah. We want to know, does this make sense? Are we missing anything? What is your feedback or your experience? Because it's filled with like quotes and experiences of different people in there that say, well, this was my experience as a foster parent or as a grandparent raising a grandchildren. This is how I experienced trying to access this service. And things like that. So we have just a virtual open community Zoom meeting. We have the next ones that are coming up are Tuesday, August 27th.
I believe I have a flyer for that.
Thank you.
Alex, can we show it? There it is. So there is the community meeting information with the dates and times.
Perfect. Yeah. And we want it to be accessible. So we have a morning, afternoon, and evening option.
Oh, for everyone's hours, right? Because everyone has a different work schedule or
Yes.
different things they're juggling. And
Yeah.
we also have this flyer en español.
Sí.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes, we
Very good.
provide interpretation services
Oh.
for all our community meetings. And then for our councils, we have both English and Spanish speakers. So we do provide that service as well.
That's a real blessing. That's really nice that you're able to do that. I want to circle back on something very quickly because you mentioned something that touched me personally because I have my own personal childhood experiences with the system. So I have a goal to be licensed foster care. So I love that you mentioned that Birth to 5 Illinois can also be a resource for foster care parents who have children in the system.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's actually one of the voices we're hoping to add onto our councils. So,
Because that's another one
yeah.
that is also a very confusing situation to navigate for the children. It's awful, and for the parents who are trying to just be that safe landing space during that time.
Yes, and we really want to be that place where people can feel comfortable and really use. I don't want to say like the safe place, but this is like a brave place for people to come up and say, this is my experience, and this is where, I feel the need might be. So we can then so that, I shouldn't say we, not Birth to 5 alone, but the organizations are made aware of those things and then are able to implement and take action.
And I do really appreciate that phrase as well, brave place.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because sometimes it does take some bravery. Can we touch a little bit more also on who else is helped?
Oh my gosh, so many
and
people.
What services? Just because, right? I know. I want to make sure because again, we talked about beforehand. We don't know who's viewing right now, live or at home on their TV, or who's going to see this later. That might say, "Well, I don't know if they know about the resource I'm looking for or the service."
Right, absolutely. So we have a great partnership with many, many organizations in the community. The King County Health Department, a lot of the food pantries, the libraries, a lot of the schools, childcare centers, even like owners of in-home childcare centers or childcare home childcare services that are licensed through GCFS. So we're working with a variety of people, and they all have, I can't even possibly name them all, have helped with putting this information and providing feedback, as well as all the families. So if someone is interested, they could find out on our website or Facebook information. They could attend community meetings, a one-time thing that's open to anyone who wants to join and learn more, or if someone is really looking to be more involved, because this is my jam, I want to do this, like me, and they're interested in wanting to do more of a long-term commitment, we have councils that run for a whole year, and the option to do 2 years, where we meet once a month and we have these conversations.
How do people sign up for the councils? That is intriguing.
Yes, I love it. Great question. So we have 2 councils. If the individual is interested in joining as like a community partner, like representing an organization, wearing that hat, there is the Action Council. And then if it's a family member, if it's a parent or caregiver, now this is a little bit different here where they can have a child age 8 or younger to be on the family council. Or be in care of a child 8 or younger.
Yes.
And these 2 councils are small groups that meet monthly. And we start those in October for our next year commitment of membership. So we have interest forms, which I believe there's If there isn't, there's a link I can share.
Liliana Guzman has kindly been putting
excellent.
the links for everything in the chat. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Liliana.
Liliana's a part of the team, so she's fabulous. Shout out to her. And to David, who's the regional manager, who's also likely listening.
Yes, I said David Quiroz.
Yes, perfect.
Thank you, David.
Yeah. So our interest forms is just like, I'm interested. You can, anyone can fill that out. Available in English and Spanish, whether it's for our region or a different region,
Sure.
a different county, because people might even work in a place that cover multiple counties and they want to be involved in one in particular.
Yeah.
You know, that's a way. So they can fill that out, and then there's a selection process to make sure that we have a diverse group of members on our council. And then anyone can submit as long as they work or live in the region, or have a child 8 and under that they're a parent of or a caregiver of. However, we are really hoping to find more people that identify as male caregivers or fathers to join our council, because we would love that voice.
It's great to have that male perspective. Yeah.
Which
I'm sorry,
Sorry.
I'm interrupting you. I got excited
good.
about what you were saying, because
Yeah.
I feel like we are in a really beautiful time where there is a lot of nurturing male identifying figures out there that have a good perspective.
Yes, absolutely. And we would love to have that. And we have a really great diverse regional representation from north to south. However, on our west side, where it's a little more rural, so some of those school districts are School District 300 and 301. Those are like almost, an hour and 10 minutes away from here.
Oh,
it's
no
still within the
kidding.
county.
Okay,
We would
right.
love to have people represent from that area as well.
Because again, that's a completely different perspective than, say, people who are living east side, west side, downtown, and these parts of Kane. Yeah.
So there are a variety of people that we would love to join us to give that voice that we don't already have representation of on our councils, because we have returning members, because they have that option to return another year. But it's open to anyone, definitely to submit an interest form.
Sure. Yeah. So guys, please, if this sounds like you, sign up, submit, or if you know someone that might be a very good fit. Yeah. Cool. What else do we want to cover? I feel like there's so much. I know you took a lot of notes, and I don't want to miss anything. No, you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, how did you get involved? But we did cover that. Yeah.
Yes.
Very cool.
Our, I think something maybe that's important to highlight is that our region, our organization, we aren't like a referral place. So we're not a place where people will come and then we'll tell them where to go for a service. We're more, what we do more is we talk about the services. So whether it's through some of these meetings or our councils, or people submit something online, like anyone can submit something on our website, like this is my story. They can even do it anonymously. So if they don't want to say their name.
That's important.
Yeah, we're confidentiality. That's very important to us. So we're not really in our offices per se, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We are out in the community. We are where the people are already at.
Which is how it's done.
Yes.
That is how to do it. Yeah.
So it's the play groups that are happening everywhere, the library events, the weekends, things that are happening, back to school bashes, resource fairs. We're there so that we can then ask and engage people. What would you, if you had a magic wand, what would you say you would love to see, so that families down the road can have a better experience?
And thinking of the resource fairs, I've really seen a lot of great resource fairs in this community and others in the last couple of years, I think, where that did not exist way back when I was a child in the 80s. But I love that, and I love the progress that we're making and how much community outreach there is for people. So again, those things don't have to be intimidating. Like, It takes a village.
Mm-hmm.
It does. What kinds of, are there any things, so in regards to the organization, but just also you as an individual in the community, are there things you'd like to see, like some dreams that you'd like to see for people?
Yes.
This is it. We're all ready, guys. Okay. All right.
So I'll first speak from just some things that have been identified in our reports.
Mm-hmm.
So some things, and you can, there's an additional document that was released last year calling the Regional Needs Assessment Report. It's the Early Childhood Regional Needs Assessment Report, long name. And that was really where we took a whole year to do like a scan of everything and talk a little bit about workforce, talk about access, talk about the demographics, and really see what's in our community first. And then we can get to where we're at right now, where we can discuss like, what do we want to take action on first, or this is something that was identified as very important, so let's start here. And in that report, we have a list of recommendations, a list of needs that families and community members have identified, and then a list of strengths. So, excuse me. So I think that, aside from, so thinking back to that, as far as what people have, identified, they've really asked for access and awareness to services. So families want to know, how do they know where to go? Mm-hmm. So, and this is just, at least in my opinion, when children enter into kindergarten, they have access to professionals and people usually to tell them or point them in the right direction. But before that, if you have a 2-year-old and maybe they're not in a childcare setting, where do you go? Like, where, if you are wanting to access something, like, who do you go to other than possibly your pediatrician or friends and family? So there isn't really like
you're right. That is the contrast versus when you're entering the school system and there's a team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So people have really brought up how that awareness piece. They want to know not only like what's available, because some people said, I know there's a lot available, I just don't know if I qualify. Or I know that this is something that I could qualify, but can I trust this organization to keep my information safe because maybe of their immigration status or 100%. Language barriers or things like that. So
right, we don't want to go get information or help for something and then there's a consequence, like an inadvertent consequence that's not even related to what we're seeking information for. Yeah.
So, there's a variety of things definitely that people have identified. Affordability, that was a big topic of topic that we came back to a lot in our first year of work with Birth to 5 Illinois, because the affordability, how can I afford to I'm just going to make up some numbers, but how can I pay $300 a week for my infant to be able to go to school or to be able to go to a childcare center
while they're at work?
I'm making $10 an hour, and that's, or I have 3 little ones. Like that affordability piece and childcare piece was something that was talked a lot about that first year when we're talking about early childhood.
It's so important because we're all trying to make this a great life here and have a great life for our family. And unfortunately in the United States, we are still a little behind other countries that have maternity care and paid leave and child care and great benefits. We're getting there.
Yes. And I love that it's our community members that are really providing their feedback and their experience so that we are able to then bring these things to light that maybe might not be new information to people, to some people, and especially those that are living it, but to the people that might have that funding authority, that might have the power to organize or focus on different things, for them to have that direct access is what I love the most about this work. So that's some of the things. There are so many.
Yeah.
I personally would love for there to be some sort of streamline or a way for like no matter what you're seeking or what you're going for, there's somewhere you can go. And then instead of bouncing back and forth to different places, someone can kind of move you along that path. I can't say what that looks like, but that's my dream. Alicia Hann,
Yes.
for families. So like, I know there's a safe, trusting place I can start with, and then I can get pushed along the river of all access to all resource and all things and support. So
I love that.
yeah.
Oh my goodness, Alicia, thank you so much for agreeing to come on today and hang out with me and tell our viewers, educate us about everything. Thank you, Birth to Five Illinois, for having you come on. Is there anything else you want to add before we sign off?
No, other than just I'm super grateful for being in this community, for being a part of this community, for meeting new people in this community.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fabulous to talk to so many people and so many organizations that really have like, I want to do good work in their heart. And it's fabulous. I love it. And I hope if anyone is interested in any of this information, they can contact us either on Facebook or on our website directly. And we'd be happy to point them in the right direction if it's not our region, because anything that supports a community is going to make our larger community a better place. So yeah.
And the website again is www.birth5il.com. Okay.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you.
Well, again, thank you so much. I really had a good time with you.
Thank you.
And I hope you had a good time as well. And to all of our lovely friends in Aurora and beyond, thank you all and have a beautiful day. I love you.
Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.